Well, you're back at school, and are you enjoying it? Who already has homework? Okay, that's pretty good. A lot of you already got homework. Okay, why don't you just turn to somebody next to you and tell them what your favorite class is going to be this year that you think. What's your favorite one? Okay, now turn to somebody else and tell them what your least favorite class is going to be this semester. Okay, so for me, the first day of school was always exciting because, you're out of your house finally, and you get to see friends that you haven't seen in a long time, right? Some of them have gotten 3 inches taller. You're like, what happened? Some guys got a beard. Some, girls got cute. Some less cute. I don't know how. Anyway, it's like everybody changed so much. You're like, wow, you got a new haircut. You got, and all this different. And so you get that experience, and that's kind of fun. And saying hi to people you haven't seen since the school year last year, and all of that. And I was always really excited about the beginning of the year. I don't know about you, but my backpack was perfect. It was like everything was in order. I put my binders in order of class. I had pens and pencils and all of that, right? And the most important thing is by the time summer was over, I had forgotten about the stress of finals and quizzes and note cards and essays and studying and homework. I forgot what that felt like. And so at the new year, I'm like, yes, so excited. And this is going to be great. By the end of week 2, I had 1 pencil left, okay? That one that you always manage to keep. All the others are gone. None of my folders in order. I always got a planner. You know that thing where you write down when assignments are due? And I said, this year, I'm going to do it. By week 2, I didn't even know where it was, okay? It was just gone, okay? And there went that idea. And then something else happened. The stress started to hit, right? As some of you are already there. You're already stressed out. But it was just, by that time, I had tests coming and quizzes and homework and books to read that no one in the world ever wanted to read, and you still have to read them, okay? And so just all this stuff started to pile up by the second week. And by the end of week 2, I was ready for vacation. Okay, I needed vacation at this point. In fact, about 2 years ago, Tracy and I got to go on a nice vacation, and we went on this one place. We got off of a boat. We went to an island, okay, and it was a small island, and as soon as I got off the boat, I took a picture, and this was the picture as soon as I stepped off the boat, okay. The entire island was sand. There was a big, huge beach. That's all it was, a big beach. And so I actually took this picture. And I took one from over here. And so we sat right here for a little while at one point during the day, right in the middle. And as we were sitting there talking, and I said, wouldn't it be awesome if you could spend time on a beach every day? Just sit here like this. The sun was wonderful. I might actually have a tan if I did that. All my freckles would eventually connect, okay? And so, and it'd be great. I just thought, man, that'd be so relaxing. And then yesterday I was thinking about this. So wouldn't it just imagine if every day you got 1 hour on a beach? And you could choose whenever you wanted it to be. So you're at home and your mom's like, I need you to take out the trash, I need you to clean your room, you need to wipe down this and this, and your sister's like, and you're like, oh my gosh, okay? And you just go, wait, time out, beach time. Just boom, you're at the beach for an hour, okay? You can just sit there. Or you're right in the middle of class and you just found out you have 4 tests on Friday and 2 essay papers due, and they're about to have you do one more thing. You're like, time out, beach time, okay? And then you're gone. You can just leave at any time and go to the beach for an hour, and then you come back. Or, you're hanging out with your bae or whatever, and right now bae's being a brat, and you're about to ready to pop her in the face or him in the face, You're like, I'm so tired of you. Wait, before I ruin our friendship, beach time, okay? And so you just, an hour later you come back, you'd probably be happy and everything's good. Life's problems would almost be solved by this idea I came up with last night. The problem is, it's not possible, okay? First of all, we live hours from a beach. There's Granbury City Beach, but it's not even a real beach, okay? And so we're too far from a real beach for that to be possible. Plus, you can't just walk out of class. It would be nice, but you can't just walk, that doesn't ever going to happen. But what if we could find a way to find peace when we're stressed out? What if there was a way, because we all get stressed out, right? We all have things that are weighing on us and dealing with us, whether it's school or home or something like that. We all go through those kind of stuff. And so what if we could, time out, beach time, but something real, okay? What if there was something real that you could do to have peace like that? So Jesus one day was talking, and he was talking to some people like you, okay? And I think he realized they were stressed out. They were tired, they were weary, and so he gave them some encouragement. And we're going to spend the next few weeks talking about these few verses. We're going to look at one of them today, and it's in Matthew chapter 11. Verse 28. And so he gives us some ideas, or he talks to us about what to do when life is making you tired, okay? It says, then Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." Rest, that's what we're talking about. Weary, tired. Have you ever just said, "I am so tired of this"? Have you ever said that? Tired of it? You're tired of it? Just turn to somebody and say, "I'm tired of it." Yeah, like you might say, "I'm tired of homework already, day 2, I'm tired of it. I am tired of tests, they're stressful. I'm tired of you, sister, all right? I'm tired of my brother, I'm tired of it." You say you're tired of it, we understand that. Jesus, I think, is saying, okay, I know you're tired of it, so I can give you rest, okay? There's stuff in your life you're tired of, and it's making you weary, and he says, I can give you rest, like not take a nap, okay, but peace, okay, but freedom. He can give you rest from it. Now, how many of you use a backpack? Okay, backpacks, anybody? I don't know about you, but when I was in school, my backpack would always eventually get like really heavy. Did anybody's ever get really heavy? Yes, okay. I need somebody. Oh, will you raise your hand? Okay, come here. Come here. Now you wish you wouldn't have raised your hand. Just come up, pick up the backpack, put it on. We'll just illustrate. It's just a backpack, okay? So, yeah, mine always got so full of books and stuff that, okay, turn around. Here. I will say it weighs about 70 pounds, okay? So, 65, okay. Right here. Okay, so, don't fall over. Okay, now it weighs about 3/4 of what you weigh, probably. So now this, it's kind of fun because I could just kind of move around. All right, so walk forward. Don't break your knee. Okay. So this would be very heavy if you had to walk for very long, right? I mean, you're okay for a minute, but if, she had to like run to class and then, I forgot something, I have to run back over here. And you go, okay, after a little bit, your shoulders would hurt. She'd probably fall over. Her back would hurt, right, because of this. Now, turn and face that side, okay? There are a lot of you that have, a figurative, if you will, bag, something that's weighing you down. He says carrying heavy burdens. There's something that's a heavy burden on your life. Now, what is in yours, everybody's is going to be different. Some of yours, there's a past mistake, and it just keeps weighing on you, right? Some of you, there's some family problems that you're worried about, and you think about it all the time. And that's what's weighing on you. Okay, some of you, it's just the stress of school and tests and all of that that's weighing on you. Some of you, it's a friend or a friend problem. This just a constant stress. Some of it, it's a disappointment from a relationship that didn't work out or doesn't look like it's going to work out. And so Jesus says, come to me, that you that have these heavy burdens, whatever yours is, whatever is weighing you down, and he will give you rest. Guess what? You get to take it off now. Okay, I'm going to rip out your hair, so you can go. Thank you. This is what he's offering, to take it from you and to carry it for you. He says, come to me and I will give you rest. In other words, he's going to take it for you, that burden, that thing that's weighing you down. And goodness, that thing's heavy. Okay. What? I told you. So he says, I will give you, and he can handle it, okay? I will give you rest. So, like some of you know, if you follow me on Snapchat, I started school again at 31, okay? Because I'm weird. And so I'm taking some Bible classes and all that. And I was in on Monday, I have Monday classes. So Monday, it was evening. He handed us the syllabus, and I started reading it. And one thing you have to read, the textbook, which is like bigger than the Bible, okay? And then I was reading, and you have to read through the entire Old Testament. And I was like, I'm going to be reading y'all don't realize how slow I read, okay? It's really slow. I'm like, I'm going to be reading all the time. And then I was like, you have to write a 12-page paper, and I'm not going to talk about that. And then you have to do, and there was just this list, right? And I would tell you what started to happen. I started to feel the pressure. And I was thinking, I can just quit. I can still get my money back. I can just quit, right? I mean, I'm done with this. And I was ready to quit because you don't get that option, but later you do. The pressure was starting to feel on me. But you got to remember something, that he can give you rest. Not that everything's going to be easy in life, but on the inside, in our heart, we can have peace. He can give us rest. So when we have these heavy burdens, these heavy things, he offers rest. I like the picture of the hammock. Doesn't that make you think of rest? I always kind of want to sit in one of those. I thought about getting one on stage, but I couldn't find one. All right, so he says, I will give you rest. And how does it happen? It's right up here. He says, come to me. Come to me, and I will give you rest. Now, in his day, maybe, it was a little more easy because he was walking around on earth, and you could be like, I'm really tired. Hey, Jesus. Because he would be right there. You could literally come to him. But that's not really an option. Maybe does that mean come to church? That might be helpful, but that's not what it means, right? He says, come to me. So what does that mean? Because you can't physically find Jesus walking around right now. Well, let me put it to you in another way. It would mean trust in him. When it says come to me, it means believe in me or trust in me. When you put your trust in him or your belief in him, then you can find rest from the things that are burdening you, from the things that are stressing you out. So let's just imagine it with this one more time. I got to pick it up one more time. So you've got this heavy burden, and I don't know what it would be for you. He is offering for you to come to him by trusting him and saying, hey, I'm wearing a microphone. That's a heavy backpack, y'all. Okay. And say, hey, Jesus. Good luck, Jesus. All right. Yeah, but he could take it, right? And say, hey, I trust you with this. Okay, here's the thing, though. I'm not talking about, silly things. The things that we're talking about are things that really matter to you, right? We're talking about maybe your family that's going through a really hard time. We're talking about you not passing, okay? We're not making the team. We're talking about you, going through something that's real and somehow saying, I trust you with it. Right, there's another passage that talks about this very thing, okay, and it makes it a little bit clearer of what to do. It's one we talked about before. It's 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety, your stress on him because he cares for you. You take your anxiety and your stress that you're holding on to, and it somehow, and maybe we'll figure that out, but you cast it onto him. You let him take it. It's not that you're pretending your problems aren't real, because that's silly. It's trusting that he's going to help you and deal with those problems that are real and that you're dealing with. Now, one time I was going through some stuff, and I was telling somebody about it, and they're like, well, have you given it to God? Which means, have you, trusted him with it? Have you given it to God? And I said, yes, many times. And then I was thinking about this. How can you give something to someone many times unless you take it back first? Think about that? You're like, yes, I've given it to God many times. In other words, I had my stress, right? What I was thinking about and worried about and all that. And I went to God and I said, God, I trust you with this. The Bible says I lay it at your feet. Okay, weird Bible term. So I trust you with it. Well, if you're not going to do anything about it, all right, I'll just take it back. Okay, let me worry about it some more. Maybe next Wednesday I'm going to come back and, okay, God, I trust you with it, and just, I keep taking it back and carrying the weight of it. At some point, in some way, I have to finally realize that this thing that I'm stressed out about, I can give to him. Not that I lay it down and he goes, oh, you laid it down? Abracadabra, problem is completely gone. Sometimes God just immediately changes the situation, and some of you have had that happen. Other times he wants you to wait and trust him for a little while first before he works it out in the way he's going to. He builds our faith that way. And so I set it down before him and I say, I trust you with it. And this next thing about this verse I think will help you. You need to realize the reason you can do that is because he cares for you. Because he cares for you. Recently, I've had something that was kind of really stressful. Somebody that I care about is kind of having some physical problems. And I don't know about you, but when the stress really builds for me is when I lay down at night and I'm in bed and all I can do is think, okay? And you can't turn your brain off, but you can just think. And I start thinking of all the stuff that could go wrong and all the problems, and my stress level really, really begins to pick up. But in those moments, this is what I chose to say to myself. He cares for me, and he cares for them. He cares for me, and he cares for them. Tell your neighbor he cares for you. Tell your other neighbor he cares for you too. Great. Now look up here and say, he cares for me. That's right. He cares for you. Now, when you get a hold of that, as in you believe it, as in it's real to you that he cares for you, you can actually lay your problems down. When you're struggling with believing that, it's going to be difficult. But when you grasp a hold of that there's a God that actually cares about my relationships, my future, my school, my family, my health, my family's health. When you realize that there's a God that cares for you, you can find peace. You can find relief, even in the most stressful of situations. Now, before we end tonight, I wanted to go back to our first verse. And that is, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Because I want to talk about one more burden that's really heavy. And I actually kind of cheated with this. I put some weights in here. That's why it's so heavy. But this is not a very heavy weight, but this is a heavy burden for some of you. It's a specific one, not necessarily stress. It's a little bit different. And that is, at times, we all deal with this, in that you have the weight of some past mistakes on your heart sometimes. That you've done something that you regret, something you feel guilt. We all have that from time to time. All of us at some point in our life look back and say, I wish I would not have. We all say, I regret that. I wish I could just change that whole part of my life. We all have sin. Every single one of us have those things from time to time. And when those are on you, it is a weight that you carry. Some of you are carrying guilt from something you've done, shame from something you've done, just regret. Some of you wonder if God could even or does even love you. And here's what you need to learn from this passage and from what Jesus did. The reason he died on the cross, the reason he went through that was so that you could come to him and he could give you rest from your sin, from that guilt, from that shame. The very thing that you may think of and go, does God love me for that? That's the reason that he died on the cross, was for that thing, so that you could be forgiven. And this is how he gives you rest in that. When you come to him and you have that burden, you have that weight of that past mistake, and you come to him, how does he give you rest? He says, you're forgiven. It's gone. He takes that away, and it's done. He will never bring it up again. Now, when we forgive people, sometimes like 2 weeks later, like, you remember when you did this? He never does it, okay? He will never bring it up again. When you come to him and truly say, I'm sorry, and I want to change, he forgives you. When you come to him, he will give you rest from your mistakes, from your past, from the current stresses that you have. He can give you rest. Now, this is just the beginning of what we're going to talk about. We have a couple more weeks. We're going to take this a lot further, but he can and will give you rest. When you leave tonight, we're going to give each of you one of these. Okay, this is just a simple card that has these two verses on it. One side says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The other side says, cast your anxiety on him because he cares for you. And I want you to take this, and the reason is because some of you, when you're at school and you're just starting to stress out, freak out, worry, I would like, maybe some of you could put this in your bag, put it in the notebook from the class that stresses you out the most, right? Whatever that is, or tape it to the front of your book or something, and let this be something, these verses be something to remind you. He can give me rest. Or maybe the other one stands out to you. He cares for me. Something for you to grab onto, to remember. So they'll give you these on your way out tonight. Just a little something to remind you of what he wants to do. But before we leave, I do want to say to you, if you're dealing with stress already from school, or you've got stress that's been with you all along from another situation, why don't you begin to get rest tonight by going to him in prayer and say, hey, I need you, Lord. I need to trust you. The way we're going to do that is you're going to pray with somebody in just a second. If you need stress relief, guess what? He wants to give you rest. If you're tired of it, he wants to give you rest. And I also want to say this. If you have the weight of a past mistake and you feel guilt and you feel shame, why don't you go to him? Because you don't have to keep it. You come to him and say, Lord, I want to give you control. I want to give you my life. In fact, if you've never, ever said to Jesus, I believe in you, I trust in you, you can do that tonight, and for the first time maybe, feel that rest that he has. If you've never made Jesus the Lord of your life, if you've never said you believe in him, I want to really ask you to go to one of the people that are going to be praying at the side of the room and say, I want to believe in Jesus. I want to trust in Jesus for the first time. And they'll pray with you. I'm going to pray over all of us, and then we're going to sing a song together. And if you want prayer, that's when you can go. Father God, I just thank you for tonight. I pray that you would just help us all to find that rest, that this could be the best semester, the best school year, the least stressful yet. If and when we learn to find comfort and rest in you. I thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen. Let's stand. There's going to be people moving to the side of the room right now to pray. If you want prayer for any reason, just step out. We're going to sing this song together, and then we'll be dismissed.